The Four Magazine, Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
Let's get it, man. Welcome to another episode of Interviews with the Foreign Magazine, where we go beyond the veil into the thoughts, ideas, and perspectives of each guest that we sit down with. And we back again with another one, man. Today, we have somebody, man, that's running for mayor, man, a very special brother that has a lot of insight on what need to be done, what can be done for the community, specifically here in Detroit, man. So it's definitely an honor and a privilege to have you, my brother. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm doing good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
can't call it, baby.
Yes, sir. For those who may not know you yet, man, can you introduce yourself and let the people of Detroit know who EJ is and what are you running for?
EJ Burney, originally from Flint. Well, my family from out west. Like, I was born in Flint. My dad was in the Army, so we did a lot of traveling. So I was born in Flint. Grew up in Detroit, West Side, 7 Mile Greenfield area, right around the corner from here, man. For the last 15 years, man, I've been frontline, man, boots on the ground, man, trying to get the city another narrative.
That's right.
Trying to change the narrative for the city, man.
Yep, and you are running for mayor.
Right.
Yes, sir. So what inspired you to step into, like, the political arena, especially now, and what does this moment mean for you personally?
When I first started, I started a magazine in 2010, and I couldn't get no support from, like, city officials. I couldn't get no support. I couldn't get media coverage. This was before the podcast that really came out, and social media was kind of like just now starting to pick up a little bit. So I couldn't get no support. So it was just all me, all my money, and I had people around me like, man, maybe you should run for mayor. So this was 15 years ago. And I had people around me telling me like, man, maybe you should run for mayor because of all the ideas that you got, and you really somebody who you hold the city in your heart. So you're going to be able to help. And I kind of put it to the back of my mind because of the way that I was raised up. I was raised by gangsters. So I carried those type of principles and that code in my heart, and it kind of went against the political, arena. So I kind of shied away from it. But now I look at like what's going on in the city now with just within the last couple of weeks, you had all these young dudes who, you know what I'm saying, shooting and running around here crazy, man. And I really feel like them seeing somebody in the forefront who I come from them same type of backgrounds. I have that same type of mindset. I'm coming from the same type of places we are coming from, but I'm doing something different now.
Absolutely.
And I'm just hoping that it could, kind of be like it could catch fire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So one thing that I noticed too, man, that you are launching is the NAIP, right?
Right.
So you're launching a new American Independent Party.
Right.
What is the party about, and how is it different from like what we've seen before in Michigan or nationally?
Okay, so with the NIAP, our main focus is on local government. So we're not focused on the House of Congress. We're not focused on senators. We're not focused on the president. We're not focused on governors. We're focusing on mayors. We're focusing on running candidates for school boards, city council, city managers. Because when you look at it, local government is what runs the nation. Because the nation is comprised of local regions. So your national government can only do so much. Your national government can only do so much for you. It's your local government that is really the ones that's supposed to be in charge of taking care of you. And when you look at it, the Republicans, that's a national party. The Democrats, that's a national party. So their goals and what they're doing, it don't affect us here on the local level. So if you just look at the city of Detroit, how many Republicans have we seen in our neighborhoods? How many Democrats have we seen in our neighborhoods?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we can get this new party going, and the main focus is strictly local. So the main focus is strictly city council members. The main focus is strictly mayors, school boards. That's what we're trying to do with that.
Yes, sir. Okay, so the state of Detroit and community focus is kind of like where I want to go right now. So, like, What's your perspective on the current state of Detroit, especially when it comes to the youth and the rise in violence that we've been seeing lately?
Man, I think Detroit it's at like a crossroad. So if you coming back to like the 90s and you looking at it now, Detroit, the safest it's ever been, you know? But when you look at the numbers, crime is only down because we losing population. So if you put the population back up to 1 million people, crime is gonna do what? That shit gonna go right back up. So we had 600,000 some people now, and the crime is reflecting that. So it's like, we gotta find another way to like reach these young dudes who they don't have no hope. And right now in this era, everybody wanna be, even if you don't wanna be famous, you wanna be social media known.
Yeah.
And if you can't rap, if you can't sing, if you can't act, the least you can do is be ignorant and you can be known. So you got a lot of young dudes who, well, fuck it, I'll just be ignorant. And I carry this pistol, I shoot people because I know it's gonna get shared online and I know I'm gonna be famous. So it's like, we gotta give these young dudes, first you gotta feed into that. So you gotta appease people's wants. So in order to get the community around, we gotta appease the fact that these people want to be social media known. So you got to give them an avenue to do that, but in a positive way though, to where even if you got a young dude and he out here yamming and he out here running and he gunning, put a camera on him, write a script, put him in a movie. Now you're doing the same exact thing and you actually making money though. And now you changing your life. So that's what we was trying to do, to even speak on, like, my young dog Hen. That's the last conversation I had with Hen, was, hey, Hen, I'm doing this movie. We about to put you in it. And it was like, I ended up getting into like some legal trouble. And so it all went away. So it was like, it's young dudes that's like that who you fearless. And Detroit is filled with young niggas that's fearless. We got to give them something else. We got to give them something. Take that fearless mentality and let's do this with it now. Take that fearless mentality. We're going to put you in front of a camera. I'm going to give you some acting classes. And you're going to do the same thing that you running around in the streets doing. But now we got another narrative coming. And now this movie, it got a message at the end of it. And now in order to get this movie done, you got to sit around me for 5, 6, 7 months.
Yeah, no doubt.
And in that 5, 6, 7 months, you're going to be around superior knowledge. You're going to be around positivity, and it's going to be a trickle effect.
Man.
Now you're going to go back to the dudes who you around, and it's, hey, dog, where you just come from? Well, shit, I just came from doing this movie. Because you know how it is when you're younger. Hey, where you just said, I just hit this lick. Hey, where another one at? Hey, I just did this movie. Shit, can I get in one too now? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no, like Detroit, the movie scene is popping. We got to put a little bit more substance into it, though. Because if you just watch a typical Detroit movie right now, it make you want to go out and say, well, fucking, I'm about to go do that shit. Because I don't learn nothing from it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting no positive message from it. I'm not getting, all I'm seeing is ass on it. All I'm seeing is, you know what I'm saying, drug dealers and shooting and running and gunning. And we gotta face the fact that that shit is enticing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's favorite movie 9 times out of 10 is a gangster movie. So it's like everybody is enticed by it. Everybody don't got the balls and everybody don't got the guts to go out there and try to do it. So now we got to get them ones who you got the balls and you got the guts to go out there and try to do it. Come on, dog. Let us go and let us change you and let us steer you in the right direction.
No, absolutely, absolutely, man. That's a great perspective, a great point. And I know that stems from, your personal, experiences. Yeah. So like, without going too deep into it, because we also, in conversation that you and I had, we're going to also do something special at a later time. So I don't necessarily want you to go too deep into it, but you did mention, before, that your background kind of gives you a unique ability to reach the young man. Yeah. So can you speak on your upbringing briefly, just a little bit, or past experiences that shaped that connection?
Man, I was raised by my brothers and my uncles. And they the most, because they from out west. So California, Las Vegas, and the Salt Lake area. So I knew what a gangster was before I knew what anything else was. I knew what like the code of that was before I knew what anything else was. So it was like, I always tell my mom, though, I was like the family's little project where it was like, let's see if we can create the ultimate real nigga. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, I'm not knowing the game that they giving me until I'm getting older. And it's like, oh, that's why you would be telling me that. That's why you would be telling me that. So it was a period in my life, man, where it was like, I always been low key, always been, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play the back. I ain't gonna be rah-rah. But I've always been into, you know what I'm saying, that street. So it was like growing up, man, not to get too deep into it, but you have situations where it's like, okay, bet I know you got two choices. Either I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do this. I know if I do this one, then my life is gonna be this way. And then if I do this one, then my life is gonna be this way. And it was a point in my life where it came down and it was like, well, fuck it, I'll take. Because they would tell me, hey, if you're gonna jump out and do this, you gotta be prepared to take this with it. You gotta be prepared to take this with it. And it was like you weighing all the consequences. And it's like, well, fuck it, I'm cool with it. So you jump off and you do something. And it wasn't until I met my wife. I remember the moment where I had the light bulb go off. Somebody called my sister a bitch, and we was about to kill him. Cause that's where we come from. That didn't happen in our family before. Somebody called a woman a bitch, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What had happened to him, that happened to him. So I'm leaving my house, 7 Mile in Greenfield. I ain't had no pistol at the time. I'm going to my man Rye house on Joy Road. And I called him like, hey, bro, I'm about to come pick it up. And he like, what you got going? I'm like, man, this nigga, you know, thought just call my sister a bitch, think I'm, you know what I'm saying, think it's sweet. And I remember driving, and my wife was like, see, my girl at the time, she like, you really about to kill him? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why? And that was the first time I had ever heard somebody say, why are you about to do that? And she was like, no, we don't do that. Don't do that. And I had never heard that before, dog. I always heard, go do it. So it was like, that was the first, I heard that from, now my mama ain't never told me to go do that, but my mama always, she was the type of mama where if you fighting outside, nigga don't run back in the house. She gonna tell you to go back outside. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where she come from.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, she was the first person I had ever heard say, why do you think like that? And that shit just made me like, hey, why do we think like that? Why the fuck would I kill this nigga if he just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the dude who we about to kill, that nigga police officer right now.
Wow.
Matter of fact, that nigga pulled me over. I was at Rouge Park driving, and he pulled me over. And it was like, that was the first thought I had in my head, because he never knew what was about to happen. So that was the first thought I had in my head.
Did he remember?
Yeah, he remembered
that
me.
He called her. Do he remember he called her?
No, he don't remember that.
Okay.
He remembered dating my sister, though.
Okay.
So it was wild. He was like, hey, you Lisa's little brother, ain't you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, call your sister for me. And I'm like, all right, but I got you, G. But it was like moments that was like that, dog, where it's like, hey, dang, you got these young dudes out here. You may not know. They never had that outside voice say, hey, why you think like that, dog? Why you gonna go do that? You know what I'm saying? I give that credit to, you know what I'm saying, my lady, dog. See, any situation that I ever been in, where I ever been, you know what I'm saying, on the edge, she was always right there like, hey, yo, calm down. You know what you about to, you go smoke something and calm down.
You relax.
And then you come, you know what I'm saying, and then you come back. And it's like, that's what we need for these, you know what I'm saying? When we was talking off the camera, dog, how you was saying it's just a mentor group, man, where it's like, you'll be surprised, dog, how a conversation, man, like the power of words. The Bible say life and death is in the power of the tongue. So it's like, man, if we can get these dudes around, these young dudes around, before you 24, 25. So scientifically, at 24, 25, your brain locks. And whatever you are at 20, 25, 9 times out of 10, outside of like a great act of God, you're going to be that person. So it's like, hey, can we get these dudes, man? And it could just be a conversation, dude. Hey, why you think the way you think? Like the one dude who you just mentioned, you're not going to say, but why you think the way you think? You ever thought that? Like I just told my daughter that yesterday. Like, why do you think the way that you think? Do you know why you just thought that thought? Now, you know you just thought something. Do you know why you think it?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know if you should be thinking it? Is it right for you to think it? Is it wrong for you to think it? And once you go through all that shit, it'd be like, you will realize like, damn. Now I remember having that epiphany moment, dog. I just came from the strip club. I was like 23, 24. We, balling for a young dude like that. And I remember sitting in the car with my best man, dude. And it was like, dog, the way we living wrong as fuck, dog. Like this shit wrong as hell. And I told him, I'm gonna go home, dog. And I went home and nigga, I ain't come back out. I've never been, like how they say outside, I've never been outside like that again, dog.
Man.
From that moment on, dog, I changed my life, dude.
Man,
and it was
that's
like,
dope.
yeah, nah, we can't do this shit no more, dude. Because you do it. That's why I don't got too much respect for the rappers. Because it's like, if you gonna do it, you gotta tell them, you gotta give it to them both sides.
All angles.
So you gotta give it to them both sides. The hardest thing I ever seen in my life was a mama identifying her body. A mama identifying her son's body. I never heard a scream like that in my life. I still have like dreams and I can hear that shit vividly because that shit it didn't even sound human. And that was my first time on the opposite end of that. So it was like, fuck, this is what, if we do something to somebody, this what they mama go through? When they got it's a screen like this, they pull the sheet over and she's seeing a boy she just carried for 9 months. And that nigga dead on the table. And they ask, is this your son? And she got to say, yes. And then they pull the sheet back over him and put him back. And it was, that shit broke me, dog. And it was like, if you really out there and that shit in your heart, then you gonna make a change once you go through something like that, dog.
Nah, real talk.
You gonna make a change once you go through something like that. If it ain't in your heart, you gonna glorify it. When you don't know what's really, you know what I'm saying? That's how you can tell who really was out here and who wasn't by who glorifying it and who not. So it was like, yeah, nah, dog, that shit like my childhood, dude, it was like just pure. You know what I'm saying, man? I got stories for days, man. I could tell you the last conversation I had with my mother. She told me, baby, she waiting to go. She waiting to die because it's just been pain after pain after pain after pain. So it's like, dog, you go through that. That shit ain't funny. That shit don't make for good music. That shit don't make for good films. That shit don't make for none of that because it just puts you in the mindset of, like when I hear music like that, I think of all the dudes who did me wrong, and I got to suppress the feeling to go get back. When I hear a song like that. So right now, I'm trying to just get into jazz music. Music with no words.
Yeah.
Because I don't want no outside.
You don't want words to impression your mind.
My mind, right, my mindset. So it's
that's
like,
the power of music too, man. It's just, dog. You're allowing an outside force, something outside of yourself
to dictate your mind,
or even influence your mind to any type of degree.
Yeah, so now if a nigga rapping and he's saying we fucking hoes and we selling bricks and we bringing lean and we doing all this, and your mind is like, well, fuck, that shit cool then. You know what I'm saying?
Or damn, man, I remember them days.
Yeah,
man. Damn,
you gotta,
these young niggas getting it.
Dog,
you know what I mean? Now you like, shit, if I do it, I know I could, like, man, they don't, even if in your mind, you like, man, if they doing this, bro, I know for a fact, if I hop back out, I could go
and do,
boom, that thought is there. So now, as you continue to go through life, let's just say within a week span, the seed is already planted. You go somewhere else, it's being reinforced. That's the water.
Yep.
You go somewhere else, it's being reinforced. That's the sun. You go somewhere else. Now this idea is...
Now that shit's spurting up.
It's spurting up.
Violence begets violence, though.
Damn, it's crazy.
Like, there's a verse in the Bible that always stood out to me. Be not deceived, God shall not be mocked. Whatever you reap, that shall you sow. So it was like, when I learned that, it was like, okay, best. So if somebody do something to me, and I do something back, whether I'm right or wrong in responding, I got to be able to accept that karma that's going to come back. So that's what we were saying before, you know what I'm saying, off the camera, where it's like, I done made peace with, if somebody do something to me, the way I'm going to respond to it, if you do something to me drastic enough, the way I'm going to respond to it, I done made peace with that.
Yeah.
And I done made peace with the karma that I'll get back. I done made peace with You know what I'm saying? The sleepless nights. I done made peace with the cold sweats. I done made peace with all that. So that's why I don't do nothing. So it's like, that's what we got to do. That's what I bring from like my background.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, hey, yo, you got to think before you actually go out and you go do something. Because like Nipsey said, you may be able to beat the cameras. You're not going to never beat that energy that's going to come back. And the way God designed all this, the energy is going to come back to you. So it's like the more and more people understand that, violence will stop. Because you shoot somebody, it's not going to end. And then if you shoot the right one, he going to turn it up on you.
100%.
So it's like, if you're not prepared to go, you know what I'm saying, all the way, then you need to chill out.
Absolutely, man. No, 100%. So like, even just to get into, you know, maybe like your vision, you know what I mean, and values, even with the NAIP and just you running for mayor in general, right? So like, what would success look like to you, not just politically, but just in terms of what you will want to accomplish for the people?
Okay, the big thing we doing, the big thing we want to do, man, and we want to do this whether we win or we lose. We want to take the old Cooley High School and transform it into the Detroit Cultural Center, where it's a digital film studio, it's a free health clinic, and within that free health clinic, you have mental health therapists. It's a co-working space, and it's a full-fledged film studio. So we got to give resources to the people who you want to make it out. If we give resources to people who want to make it out, now when you go back into your neighborhood and you go back into your community and people see you, they're going to say, hey, dog, what are you doing? Oh, man, I'm working with these people who they just opened up this cultural center, and it ain't no bullshit. You can't come up there on no bullshit. And everything that they do, like everything that we want to do is free. So if we do the cultural center, we're not going to charge you if you was a Detroit City resident or if you're a past Detroit City resident.
Yeah.
We're not going to be looking to charge you, because we're looking at it like the city needs to do more investing in the people outside of just getting taxes from you, and then we don't see where that tax money is going. You know what I'm saying, man? Let us show you where this money is going. And you got this building that you could come to when you got that son who, like, we got to admit that, like, I suffer from bipolar depression. So I understand the power of having somebody to talk to, having somebody to, you know what I'm saying, be able to change your mindset and change your thought processes in a good way. So it's like, we need that for the people in this city. You just seen the girl who just stabbed the manager at McDonald's. If you able to walk, if you able to get sent home, leave your place and come back, and within that meantime, you don't have one person to say, because you got the look on your face if you about to go kill somebody. You wearing that shit on your face. And in that meantime, you ain't have one person be able to say, hey, baby, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, come here for a minute and come talk to me right quick. Tell me what's wrong with you. So that's what we want to do with the old Cooley building, where we're going to turn it into a place where we can pull these young kids and say, hey, yo, come here for a minute. Come talk to me. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then once we get you in here, what do you want to do? You want to start a small business? Okay, bet. Go to this room. You want to work on film? Okay, go to this room. You want to do music production and TV production? Okay, bet. Go to this room. You need somebody just to talk to? Okay, bet. You go right here.
That's super dope.
So it's like, it's stuff whereas you can say, like, man, I see a lot of these politicians say, oh, well, we're gonna go after drug trafficking. Man, that shit fairy tale shit. So it's like, you're not gonna be able to, that's why Detroit has been the way that it's been, because they ain't never let the people who, we was one of the ones who was responsible for fucking the city up. Now that we got our life together, let us help with repairing it. But y'all gotta come down here and y'all gotta come deal with us more than just on social media, more than just on camera, just to get them votes and just to get them likes and shit.
Sure.
Nah, come talk to these dudes who just got released from prison and say, hey, dog, how did you change your life around?
Because that's going to be the method to help
this
people.
next dude.
That's an actual, you're saying that is the actual kind of like return on investment. Like, you know what I mean? Where you act, this is the proof right here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to second guess or question what philosophy that, you know what I mean, helped him. We can actually utilize him to help people.
So like,
you know, when you think about, as we talked about different politicians right now, like, what is the state of politics in Detroit, and what do you, or just Michigan in general, what do you think overall is the BS, and like what role or what value do you think you'll be able to add to that mayoral position?
Okay. The BS is the politicians in Detroit only know Detroit politics. But the misconception is that Detroit politics runs Detroit. Detroit politics don't run Detroit. American politics is what runs Detroit. So we up under America. So we don't determine inflation. That's on the global scale. So with these, with Trump and these tariffs, Detroit ain't put no tariffs on China. The federal government put tariffs on China. But what is that going to do to our food? What is that going to do to all our products here? So when you look at it, and Detroit is a major city, but none of our politicians are in tune with what's going on a global scale, and how is that going to affect us here on the local level. So when you look at the fighting that's going on in Ukraine, all of that shit is affecting us right now, whether we know it or not. Ukraine is the world's largest exporter of wheat and grain. That's really what they fighting over, because Russia won't control all that, because that's money. What does that do to wheat and grain? It pushes the price up. With what's going on in Israel and Iran, the price of gas is about to go up. So when you're a leader, now you'll be able to say, okay, bet, hey, look, this shit about to be tough for the next 4-5 years. And it ain't gonna be no easy way around it. You're gonna have long soup lines, you're gonna have long food lines, you're about to have a high crime rate, because when people don't have no money, violence goes up. You're about to have no jobs. You're about to have high inflation. It's called stagflation. So stagflation is when your economy is stagnant, but you still have inflation. So that means your unemployment rate is rising at the same time the inflation rate is rising. So that means nobody has jobs, but everything at Walmart is costing more. If I already don't have no job and everything at Walmart is costing more, what the fuck am I gonna do? You see what I'm saying? So it's like you do have some mayors that's around, that's in other cities, that they're preparing their citizens for what's about to happen. What the fuck is these mayoral candidates doing here? They don't even have the clue of everything that Trump's doing. Everything that Trump's doing is resetting America. Because that's what it's meant for. To make America great again, we have to reset this motherfucker.
So you got to go through a painful time.
You have to go through a painful time. So when they ask,
like breaking down to build up, like how
here
people
you go.
say,
Yeah,
when you working out, you got to tear it.
It's just like that. It's just like that. So if you working out, your muscles is only gonna grow based off of how much you tear them down. So that's where Trump at now.
Wow.
Where it's like, hey, we have to, like, you got to admit that America was built on fucked up principles. We built on fucked up principles, and it's not his fault. That's why Trick can get on the stage with him. Because once you start, like, really digging into it, it's not his fault that this shit like that. He just was willing to say, hey, you know what, fuck it, I'll take all of the blame for it. I'll take all of the blame for it, but we about to rework this shit. And we about to redo some shit. And instead of them saying it as, hey, yo, we about to go through a painful time, they're a little bit more political. They say, we're transitioning. So that's what they say. We're in a period of transition. What the fuck? We're a transition of what?
How do the average brother in the hood
it's about to
understand what transition is? Why we can't just speak straight words? Do you think with you being someone that is like a straight shooter or somebody that's open to give the Michigan citizens the unfiltered knowledge, do you feel like that kind of puts you behind the 8 ball and make it a little difficult for you to actually win?
I think it makes it difficult for me with people who have been following politics for like a long time, because you used to, the Barack Obama. So when people see me, that's what they expect. They expect like, okay, bet you're going to be clean cut. You're going to be, but it's like when I can only speak the way that I speak, the way that I've been speaking for, you know what I'm saying, my whole life, and what made me comfortable. To the new age voter, they love me because it's going to be rough. It's going I'm gonna cuss. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak it just like how I speak it, but I'm not speaking ignorance though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go out here and have sex with a whole lot of women and go do nothing. I'm telling you, hey, yo, look, these next 4 or 5 years, shit gonna be fucked up. And it is. You can kind of see it now. Shit is going to have to be fucked up. We just had, so when you're looking at the state of an economy, you look at GDP. Our GDP for the last quarter was negative, meaning our economy didn't grow, it shrunk. If we get another GDP negative in this quarter, we are officially in a recession. So when you look at COVID reshaped like, everything. And it's like if you are a politician, how the fuck you not following all of this? How you not following that? Hey, since we peaked, our economy peaked in 2022. And since then, it's been so everybody else is just waiting for the boom. And once that hit, now the rebuilding is starting. If you don't even know it, so if we on an airplane and this motherfucker crashing, and you don't know it's about to crash, but I know it's about to crash, so I'm preparing myself, and you next to me on your phone or doing something else, and you're not preparing for this, but you not being prepared don't mean that this motherfucker ain't about to crash.
Yeah.
It's crashing one way or another. Now are you prepared for it?
What are some things briefly, that people can do to prepare?
Man, dog. Like, right now, at this point, I ain't even I'm not even nothing. For real, man. Like, right now, at this point, is if you ain't already got something in motion, that shit gonna be hard for you, dude. Like, if you ain't already got something in motion, man, they talking about, like, this is gonna be like, Great Depression type shit. Because we gave so much money during COVID, we don't have it to give again. But the economy is going. So in the quarter right before COVID hit, our economy was, so it was like that bailout, we just now getting rid of all that money. So now it ain't no more new money to come in. Now you have these tariffs. What are they about to do? They pushing the price up. And in America, it's profit first. So once profits start, you know what I'm saying, these companies is like, oh shit, our profits is low. They not gonna take a smaller cut, they just gonna lay off. So if you looking, you have a whole super lot of layoffs coming. You have layoffs that already happened. Right before COVID, you had a record number of CEOs quit. Because we've been waiting on this shit, man, since 2011. And they just been propping it up. So if you look at with iPhones right now, don't nobody buy an iPhone. What we do? We just get it on credit. So on Apple's books, hell yeah, they selling a record number of iPhones because we paying $20 a month. When iPhones first came out, you couldn't do that. Them bitches $600, $700, $800. If you wanted one, you had to drop the full price. Why did they do that? Because Americans don't have no money now.
So credit is literally destroying.
And they done bled us dry with credit. One thing they don't tell you, the United States is in debt. So we have the interest payments on our debt is something crazy, like $2 trillion something dollars. So we got to pay $2 trillion and not even putting a dent in what we owe. So we at the peak of a debt crisis.
Wow.
Now, the country who we got the biggest problems with, China. That's our biggest debtor. So we owe China. China's our biggest creditor. And all China got to do is pick up the phone and say, give us our money. The moment China pick up that phone and say, it's called a margin call. The moment they pick up the phone and say, hey, we want our money. This motherfucker. So China just holding off. So when you see what's going on with China and Taiwan, all of that shit is to undermine America. Where the fuck is Detroit at? In America. So what's going to happen when China invade Taiwan? How is that going to affect us here in Detroit? Because it's going to affect us here in Detroit.
Man, these some very, 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 very important things to think about and consider, man. Yeah. We definitely gonna have to have another one for sure, man. Because even with this platform, man, we cover it all, and we've been able to find a way to mesh hip hop and urban culture,
Yeah.
you know, with politics and with mental health, as we just interviewed somebody that was talking about mental health, just all of these different things, man. So we always want to educate and enlighten. So what you just said is very important. Now, before we leave, right? I do want to address, and you can go into it however you decide to go into it. With you running for mayor, we understand politics. We understand that politics is not necessarily the most loving environment or space to be in.
Right.
A lot of controversy comes with politics, etc. Let's talk about, the elephant in the room,
Right.
with your campaign slogan, color scheme, and even some of the ideas that have been noticeably borrowed or duplicated, for the lack of better words.
Right.
How do you address that without being distracted from your overall mission?
Man, I looked at it as like when it first happened. For the people who don't know, we had it's one of the front runners, and you can go and look at it. She got the same slogan that we had, with the same slogan that we have, same color scheme that we have, and we actually reached out to her, not knowing that she was running. And when we reached out to her, we didn't hear nothing back, and we just seen her, run off with what we had. And she got, the name in the city. She, got the city in the chokehold. But it kind of gave me, like, I'll never forget when I first seen it, man. I was in my mama's living room, and I just was scrolling Instagram, and I happened to see when she announced it, and I looked in the back, and I seen her slogan, and I seen, the color scheme. And the color scheme is, if you was to go and ask her, why did you pick red, white, and blue? She wouldn't be able to tell you. It was a reason why we picked red, white, and blue, because we coming out with a new political party, and we want to be able to attract Republicans, and we want to be able to attract Democrats. Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. So we wanted red, white, and blue. So it was a reason behind that. So everything that we was doing 2 years ago, all of our marketing was red, white, and blue. So it was like, when she did it, I actually canceled my campaign when she did it. So at the time when I seen it, I wasn't running no more. I was just working on my personal business. That's what got me back in there. It kind of gave me that, yeah, shit, if it's good for her, I know it's good for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it kind of gave, she gave me an oop.
Yeah.
She gave me an oop, and now it's just up to me to, slam dunk it and finish it.
Absolutely, man. With that being said, man, how can the people support you? How can the people vote for you? When should they be looking to get out?
We running, and we're not asking for no money. We're not doing no donations. We're not doing none of that. I'm running as a write-in candidate because I missed the deadline to actually be on the ballot. So I'm running as a write-in candidate in the general election that's taking place on November 5th. And, if you believe in it, if you rocking with me, then it's easy, man. Just go down to them polls, man, and write in my name. EJ, you ain't even got to write the last name. Just write EJ. That's why we did it like that. Shit, 2 letters.
Hey, man, I love that too, man. You so authentic, man. He said you could go right down there, right in EJ. We not doing...
We ain't doing all
no.
that. Yeah. Just right, because it ain't no, man, you don't, like even this, man, I hate the fact that I was never one of the ones that like brag and, you know what I'm saying, do all that, man. So it's like, I wanted it to be like, and it was a fairy tale. I wanted it to be like, hey, look, man, I got an idea for this motherfucker. Let's do it. But it don't work like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Politics been around thousands of years, man. So if you want to get in, you do. You got to play the game. So
Absolutely.
It's like, man, we playing the game.
Absolutely.
And if you really, like, if you fucking with it and you rocking with us, man, that election November, and I guarantee it, we change the city around. Like, I guarantee it. It's going to be hard, though, them first 4 years, no matter who win, it's about to be, you're going to have to tighten your belt. Like, you're going to have to tighten your belt. You're going to have to make major sacrifices. You're going to have to rethink, like, a lot of decisions. And right now is the time to think, okay, when the smoke clears, what can I do? How can I position myself right now that when this smoke clear, it's better? And that's what we want to do, man. How can we position Detroit that when all this shit is over, that people looking at us like New York and people looking at us like Toronto and Beijing, and because we got the infrastructure and we got the hustle. We just never had that outlet.
Man.
We never had that outlet to, where even our artists, the biggest artists we got is Eminem and Big Sean. Now Eminem, because his roots is really, really, really in Detroit, you can't take that from him. Big Sean, we never really saw you. So it was like a disconnect. Now you got Bezo, you got Peasy, you got these dudes, and it's like, how can we get these dudes to where, how can we get our artists here to where they on the level of like a dude from LA or a dude from, New York, where it's like we have household names that's coming from Detroit. How many household names do we got where you could go to somebody in Alaska and say, hey, you know this person? And they're going to say, hell yeah, we know them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just take that one person with, and I know I'm unconventional. I know I'm, a little bit rough around the edges, but nigga, this city unconventional and rough around the edges. So it's like, if you want the same thing, you're going to vote for the same thing that you've been voting for. If you want something different, it's like what Suge Knight said. You want nigga dancing in the videos and, you know what I'm saying, doing all that. If you want something else, then you know who to vote for then.
Straight up, man. Well, it definitely was a pleasure to have you, man. We're going to definitely do this again. Y'all make sure y'all get out there. Make sure that y'all vote. Support the brother. Now. Don't wait. Start supporting the brother now. If you can, let them know where to follow you at on social media.
You can follow me on Instagram, EJ Burney 85, and I'm on Facebook too, EJ Burney.
That's what it is, man. EJ, appreciate you, my brother. The Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture. Let's get it.